Welcome to a community conversation. And today we have two representatives of the Robotics Team Orange. This is a STEM organized robotics team. And the two members are Taya Prislin and Misha Vaculin. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Say hello.
Hi.
And tell me about this robotics team. You're called a Roaring Robots Team Orange. Um, what do you do in the session with STEM?
Um, well, we primarily build robots together that
Mhm.
we have a mission board and we would complete the missions. And then we would also have a second part of our project, which would be a presentation about a topic that relates to our mission board. And this year's theme was submerged. So we had to come up with an innovation project to do with going underwater and saving the oceans with climate change.
Wow.
Yeah.
Misha, what role did you play?
In this, I was the captain, and also I was building and coding and designing the robots, along with some other members of our team.
How many are on the team?
I think it's 8 or 9, right?
Yeah. And you have it,
Yeah.
how many fingers? I didn't count. 9. Okay. And you have a manager, Adriana Alvarado, who was talking to me a bit ago about a competition that you were in. I believe it was up in Albany, and you
Yeah.
came away with some awards.
Mhm.
Taya, can you tell me about the awards you got?
Yes, so as a school, we got 4 awards. Our team had the best robot and the best innovation for our attachments because they were the most efficient. But as a school, we had the best coach, and our team that came with us, Team Black, they had core values.
Wow. And what does that mean, Misha? Core values.
Core values is, in essence, like gracious professionalism. So being able to work well as a team, being nice to each other, and, for example, not yelling at each other. And yeah,
Hmm. So there's 2 teams.
yeah.
There's Team Orange and 3 teams. Okay.
Mhm.
The Team Orange, Team Black, and Team
White.
White. Okay. And you know this when people think that you're making robots, they might be thinking of the machines that do like repetitive tasks, like picking something up and putting it down and then doing the same thing again and again and again. Is that the kind of robot you're working with?
Not really. So
No?
what we created are Lego Lego robots primarily.
Hmm.
That basically they have wheels and motors that are you can attach attachments to them, and they
Okay.
can do like varieties of missions involving pushing, pulling, lifting, and yeah.
So Taya, when you get this robot, do you have to build a robot or does it come already built?
So all the pieces are laid out, and you have to build it from scratch to your desire
Hmm.
because of what add-ons we put on the robot, and because they are removable, we can do different shapes to make it easier.
And these robots the parts are provided by Lego.
I believe so, yes.
So I think this is part of their project. And then they have a challenge for the robot. And what was the challenge, Misha?
The challenge was to achieve as many points as possible, and to do this, there's a mission board where you have to solve missions, and each mission is valued a certain number of points, and the more points that you get, the higher score you have. And in the competitions, we won both times the robot performance.
Well, congratulations. Now, you said that the theme was underwater or
Yeah.
submerged, rather. So that means that the robot that you put together had to do some missions that would typically be done under the water, right?
Um,
So,
that was more based on our innovation project.
okay.
Um, because we created a device that could measure pH and temperature, for coral bleaching because we did research on it and figured out that where there are more corals, there is more pH. So we have recent data years, but the tools to do this data are very expensive and take a lot of time. So we decided to make a kid-friendly version and you could do your own data and play around with it.
Is this, Misha, is this a fun project for you folks to work on?
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Did
'Cause
you did you like grow up putting Legos together? Yeah.
uh,
Taya
sorry.
says yes. That was your experience, Taya?
Yeah, that's what caught my eye when I saw it was Lego Robotics.
Ah, and it's really nice to see that there are girls on this team. You're not the only girl, are you?
No, I think there were more this year. I think there were in total like 7.
Wow. Because some people think that it's just boys that are interested in robotics, but that's not true. And you're proof of that.
Yes.
What was your favorite build when you were putting these things together?
Um, Definitely making like really big and complicated attachments because you had to figure out later how to code them correctly and which motor did what.
Oh, so tell me about coding, because I don't understand that. What is coding? Misha, maybe you could talk about that.
Sure. So for the coding, there's actually like as we mentioned before, we had two different aspects of it. We had the device that we built and also the robot. So for coding the robot, we had to code it. Okay, for example, if we wanted to drive straight a couple of centimeters, like 10 centimeters, then turn left, and then get the motors to move in certain directions so we can accomplish missions. And then
Oh,
we also had to use some unique algorithms to get it to perform the best, such as gyro, which would get it like an algorithm that autocorrects its direction in case it bumps into something, and also acceleration, so that it would speed up and slow down, so it would have smooth driving.
so how do you learn this?
Um,
Just trial and error, or is there a instruction you have in coding?
Honestly, a lot of it, I mean, part of it is trial and error, but the older members from who have done it for different years were teaching the newer members,
Hmm.
and yeah.
So that's good. But
Mhm.
it does, do you have a class? I know that you meet at I think it's Hommocks, is that right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Are you both at Hommocks now?
we
Mm-hmm.
are.
Both students? Okay. Is everybody on Team Orange a Hommocks student?
No, there's
No.
one. There's two students that aren't. One
Okay.
goes to a different school, and the other one is a fifth grader.
Okay. And so the classes are at Hommocks. How often do they meet?
Twice a week.
Yeah. And so when you're there twice a week, you're not working alone, you're working in a team.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are tell me like one of the missions that the robot that you got the robot to do.
Um, so I know one of the things had to do with a shark, and you would go up to it, and you'd
Yeah.
have to release the shark or push it off the board
Yeah.
by pressing down a plate, and it would make the shark turn up and it would slide off.
So the robot would have to press on the plate
Yeah.
and
Yes.
you have to code the motor of the robot to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay. Does this have like a practical application in your schoolwork? Does it help you with your other schoolwork, working on robots and working in STEM?
I would say not necessarily, but it is the other way around, where what we have learned in school gives us better ideas what to do in STEM.
Yeah. What about like working together with other people? That's
That
important too in
that
schoolwork.
definitely helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it helped there.
Mm-hmm. Certainly.
That's terrific. Um, Tell me about any other projects that you're working on with robotics. What's like coming up for you? What's next?
I mean, right now our season ended because we got eliminated in the regionals round,
Hmm.
unfortunately. So now the season is over, and the younger members they have the option of doing spring robotics, where they can learn the essential skills to go back into the competition round next year. But I'm not doing it because I'm in eighth grade, and there's honestly no benefit because I'm just moving into the high school next year, so I can't do this robotics.
Ah, well, hopefully there'll be some opportunities for you in the high school
Yeah.
to continue your work in robotics. Taya, are you still involved in something new?
Um, Yeah, so after this ends, I do normally do the spring robotics, and it's very hands-on with just the robot instead. So all the new members can be better at coding.
Well, that's good. Well, thank you so much for taking a few minutes of your day to tell us about the Roaring Robotics or the Roaring Robots Team Orange. Taya Prislin and Misha Vaculin. Um, and the rest of the team, congratulations on winning. And even if you didn't win, it still sounds like a wonderful experience. And I'm sure people now have a much better idea of what you folks are up to. So thanks again.